Assalamu-Alikum and welcome back. So, in this lecture, we will start the next chapter, which is chi-square test. So, what is chi-square test? So, chi-square test is a statistical procedure for determining the difference between observed and expected data. This test can also be used to determine whether it correlates to the categorical variable in our data. It helps to find out whether a difference between two categorical variables is due to chance or a relationship between them. So the calculated value of chi-square is compared with the tabulated value of chi-square against r minus 1 into c minus 1. So what is r minus 1 and c minus 1? There are c minus 1 is the independent columns. So we can prove that there are r minus 1 independent rows. So we get the degree of freedom for r into c contingency table r minus 1 into c minus 1. Degrees of freedom at any given level of significance. If the calculated value of chi-square is greater than the chi-square table value, so we reject the null hypothesis. So steps involved of the test of independence in contingency table will be as follow. So state the null hypothesis as H naught the attributes are independent, H1 the attributes are associated. So these are the null hypothesis. The second step is choose a level of significance alpha. And the third step is test statistic under the null hypothesis. So here we use the formula through which we will find the value. So chi-square equals to summation f naught, or we can say observed frequency, minus fe, or the expected frequency, whole square divided by expected frequency. Which is distributed approximately as chi-square with r minus 1 c minus 1 degree of freedom. So calculate the expected frequency under H naught for each cell and calculate the value of chi-square. Also determine the degree of freedom. After that, the next step is critical region, where chi-square calculated is greater than chi-square tabulated. So we can write it here in this way: chi-square calculated, so we can write it CAN, is greater than chi-square tabulated. So tabulated value we can write it here TAB. So this is the critical region. The region of rejection is determined with the help of degree of freedom and alpha from the chi-square table. The next one is conclusion. We can say the last step where reject H naught if calculated chi-square calculated value is greater than chi-square alpha degree of freedom. Otherwise, accept it. So this is the last step. In the last step, we reject the hypothesis or we accept the hypothesis. So reject H naught when we reject H naught if chi-square calculated is greater than chi-square tabulated, as we already write it in the critical region. So chi-square calculated chi-square calculated greater than chi-square tabulated. So we reject the H naught.